So today we are discussing about the most important topic which is very useful to you to know, that is knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is good, but wisdom is important. Knowledge is information. Wisdom is how you use it. That makes marked difference. Knowledge is considered good provided it leads you towards wisdom. So it is like a medicine. You know, by taking that medicine you get relief. When you have some trouble, you have to take the medicine. But if you don't know how to use the medicine, or if you don't take the medicine, then in what way it is useful to you? Another important point is knowledge is fuel while wisdom is fire. You need fuel because you need fire. If fuel doesn't produce fire, it is useless. So, knowledge assumes its importance only when it is used. Sri Ramakrishna gives a wonderful example to understand this particular point. There is an intoxicant. If you just repeat the name of the intoxicant, do you get intoxicated? No. Simply by muttering the name repeatedly, you won't get intoxicated. You have to take inside, you have to use it. This is just like that. There are many scholars in the world, but there are very few wise men. When the wise men speak, the whole world listens and also follows. This is because what they say is truth. Truth they have known through personal experience. Truth is not simply book learning. It is what you experience. Theoretical knowledge is one thing, but by practice you get the experience. That is wisdom. Experience at first hand. When this experience takes place, the person who has this experience is totally transformed. It is this experience that makes the difference between a scholar and a wise man. The wise man speaks with authority because he has known, he has seen, and he has experienced what he talked about. To give an example again of Sri Ramakrishna, you know Swami Vivekananda visited him. He was meeting all kinds of people before coming to Sri Ramakrishna. He was asking every one of them whether they had seen God. Nobody could reply that question. Nobody would say directly whether he had that experience of God. So Vivekananda was almost disappointed when he came to Sri Ramakrishna. He put the same question to him. And Sri Ramakrishna answered in a straightforward way, yes, I have seen. Direct question, direct answer. I have seen God. I have talked with God. I can show that God to you. That is experience. We have read God is present, God is there. One should experience that God. That is theoretical knowledge. But how to experience it? By undergoing spiritual disciplines, by living a life of purity, one could experience that divine truth. And Sri Ramakrishna had experienced that, and he gave that experience to the people. Whomsoever came to Sri Ramakrishna would become blessed by his contact. So, that is the beauty of wise people. The wise man speaks with authority because he knows it, he has experienced it. Another example Sri Ramakrishna has given. You know, Benares is very famous pilgrim center. Most famous, one of the most famous pilgrim centers in India. Simply by knowing the description of Benares, in what way it helped you unless you had seen it? So you have to visit the place, then only you will have the real experience of what Benares really would look like. So wisdom is personal experience. Knowledge is only intellectual embellishment, a decoration, that's all. If it is not applied or if it is not applicable. So, you may acquire any amount of knowledge. You might have read all the books in library. What does it matter? If you don't know how to use that knowledge in your daily life, it is just like an ornament. One wears it only to attract notice, but is never able to use in times of adversity. So, wisdom comes from the practice of what one has learnt. It may be one has not learnt much, but if one has learnt the basic truths of life, and if he has learnt how to apply them in day-to-day life, one is wise enough to help oneself and also others. It is very good to aspire for knowledge. Wonderful. Have it. But the goal is wisdom. That you should not forget. Scholarship may satisfy one's vanity, but not one's needs. Knowledge is important to the extent that it helps one to know what is right and what is wrong. You must develop that discriminative faculty. You must be able to judge properly what is good for you and what is bad for you. Through the power of knowledge, you should be able to discard what is bad, what is not good, and able to take what is good and apply in your daily life. So herein comes the importance of practicing ethical and moral principles, values in life. First of all, you must know what are the values, what is the purpose of being truthful, what is the purpose of being kind and compassionate. You must know the importance of all these values and then apply in your life. So that way you are evolving fully, nicely. That way knowledge is to be used. So knowledge is to be used for the human welfare. Knowledge is really power. But it may be power for good as well as evil, depending upon how you use it. In modern times, we have seen how the knowledge is being abused. Instead of promoting the welfare of humanity, it is being used for the destruction purposes. So whatever the knowledge man is acquiring, he is using them in the war, in the fight. He is using the knowledge to prepare bombs, to hurt the people, to kill innocents. So how the knowledge is being misused, abused? Unless it is accompanied by wisdom, there is no guarantee it will not be used for evil. So, wisdom is very important. So knowledge assumes importance only when there is wisdom behind it. So, one important fact you should note down, that is, knowledge and wisdom must go together. Knowledge is the wisdom, knowledge is the means, and wisdom is the end. Knowledge is very important, but it must lead you towards wisdom. Knowledge is the body and wisdom is the soul. Knowledge changes, but wisdom is constant. Knowledge reflects facts of life which are never the same. Wisdom reflects the truths which are perennial. There may be a scholar, learned in many scriptures, but he may commit all sorts of mistakes. He may commit all sorts of crimes. He may err. But a wise man never. He is concerned with truths which embrace mankind as a whole and which transcends time and space. Sri Ramakrishna gives another example. If you simply know, if If you take the milk, it will nourish your body. Just by repeating this, just by having this knowledge, is it enough to nourish your body? You must go to the market, procure the milk, and then you must drink it. Then only, after assimilation, it will help you to nourish your body. In the same way, knowledge is to be used. First of all, you must try to acquire the knowledge. Then you must show great interest in applying that knowledge in your daily life. Knowledge is meant to give you wisdom. Wisdom is meant to make your life meaningful and purposeful. That way you can enrich your life in every respect. You can become very good citizen. You can become model to the whole society. A wise man is able to attract all the people. The power of attraction comes on account of wisdom. Where there is wisdom, there is tremendous attraction. Lots of people every day would come to see Sri Ramakrishna. Why? Because of his wisdom. Because of his wisdom, he was completely simple, free from the trace of ego, extremely compassionate and loving to everyone. Sometimes even people who don't have faith in God, who don't believe in God, would come to Sri Ramakrishna. But Sri Ramakrishna would not turn them away. He would try to make them understand the significance of the faith. He would make them feel the presence of God. So he would love them too. Even if people criticized him, Sri Ramakrishna would never become angry, because his whole character was based on wisdom, matured knowledge. Knowledge, when it is matured, becomes wisdom. So Sri Ramakrishna had that wonderful synthesis of knowledge and wisdom. So Sri Ramakrishna is the model for all of us to follow. He has shown the path. He has given various teachings. Let us try to concentrate on the teachings of Sri Ramakrishna and follow them in our life seriously and sincerely. Then you will definitely have all the prospects in your life. With these words, I conclude my talk. If you have any questions, you are welcome to ask. Why? Because man suffers in bondage. See, even the little puppy which is kept there in that small cage, always it is crying. Why? It wants to come out. It wants to be free. Even though you feed him with milk, with bread, with all sweets, everything, it is not happy. It wants to come out. It wants to enjoy the free air, the free movement, free thinking, free acting. That is it. He loves freedom because freedom is its nature. So everyone loves freedom. That is why you aspire for it. Why you are suffering? Because you are constrained, you are under limitations. So all those limitations must be removed. Your mind has been clouded. You have not been able to see the divine glory which is shining in your heart. So every now and then you are going alternately swinging like pendulum between pain and pleasure. All this is because of bondage. So once you get rid of that bondage, then you love the value of freedom, how it is really great to be free. So people try to be free. No, like pendulum, we are being tossed alternately. It only to show you the temporary nature of these things. So you should not go in for that. You should aspire for that which is real, that which is permanent. That's the idea. Now, when you are able to dissociate yourself with the way how you are going on, then you are able to go beyond swinging. You no more, you are deceived by either pleasure or pain. Yeah, that's the idea. Any more question? Yeah. So knowledge is meant to know the things, but you must use it up to understand the value of knowledge. So the value of knowledge is wisdom. Unless you know, what is the use of the knowledge? That's the idea. Any more? All right. Composed by Meera. The meaning is like this. I have received the greatest wealth, the jewel of Rama's name. My Guru gave me this precious gem and has made me his own through his compassion. I received this treasure after searching for it through many births, even though I have lost all that the world treasures. By spending, this priceless treasure does not diminish, nor can thieves steal it. Day by day, this wealth, Rama's name, increases. With truth as a boat and the Guru at the helm, I have been able to cross the ocean of samsara. Meera's Lord is Krishna, lifter of Govardhan mountain, confounder of human intelligence. She sings joyfully his glory with bliss in her heart.
पायो जे मैंने राम रतन धन पायो, पायो जे मैंने राम रतन धन पायो। वस्तु अमोलक दे मेरे सतगुरु, वस्तु अमोलक दे मेरे सतगुरु, कृपा कर अपनायो। पायो जे मैंने कृपा कर अपनायो, पायो जे मैंने राम रतन धन पायो, पायो जे मैंने राम रतन धन पायो। जन्म जन्म के पूंजे पाए, जन्म जन्म के पूंजे पाए, जग में सबे को वायो। पायो जे मैंने जग में सबे को वायो, पायो जे मैंने राम रतन धन पायो, पायो जे मैंने राम रतन धन पायो। खर्चन कोटे वाको चोरन लूटे खर्चन लूटे वाको चोरन लूटे देना देना बढ़त सवायो पायो जी मैंने देना देना बढ़त सवायो पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो सत के नाव केवटया सतगुरु सत के नाव केवटया सतगुरु भवसागर तरयो पायो जी मैंने भवसागर तरयो पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो मीरा के प्रभु गिरधर नागर मीरा के प्रभु गिरधर नागर हर घर कजस गायो पायो जी मैंने हर घर कजस गायो पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो